Showtime, time before flight, checking in as ready.
Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Prickly Hedgehog. Thanks for tuning in again for another weekly update. Of course, it's Friday, it's newsletter time, and we also saw a surprise video from Eagle Dynamics. It's called Reach for the Skies, and it was a perler. What a fantastic looking video. We're showcasing the clouds, which they have officially announced will be released in March of this year. It was promised for Q1. That's still within that Q1 time frame, all right. But more importantly, outside of the clouds, definitely they look gorgeous. I'm very excited to see them in the game. Of course, we're all looking forward to them. We've been teased and teased and teased over the last few weeks with several videos from WAGs, and we've talked about this in the past. But we also had the A-6 Intruder in there. If you missed it, you shouldn't have. But if you haven't seen the video yet, well, it's in there. Spoiler alert, unfortunately. The A-6 Intruder, unknown which developer this is. I don't know if it's an Eagle Dynamics product or if it's a third-party developer. The last I heard was Heatblur was doing a little bit with the A-6. But as far as I was aware, it was an AI aircraft. So I don't know if this is an AI model. It looks pretty damn detailed, I must say. We've got the two pilots sitting in the cockpit there, and the exterior looks pretty decent for an AI aircraft. Some of them are pretty darn awful, to be honest. There's a few that have been reworked, but for those of you that have refueled with the S3 Viking, for example, in some of the campaigns or just in general, yeah, it's not a particularly sharp-looking model. This looks like a full fidelity exterior, if I may say so. And that's a lot of work to do on an AI model. Now, if it's Heatblur, we shouldn't expect anything less. They are renowned for high polygon models and producing some very superior looking aircraft. So, yeah, speculate away. I may have missed it, but I didn't see who was responsible for this. If it's Eagle Dynamics, well, very cool. If it's Heatblur, very cool also. But I am very, very much intrigued. Let me know what you think below. What a cool video. All right, well, let's turn to the Lunar sale right now, because Eagle Dynamics is offering up some really cool goodies right now. We'll start with the Viper. Now, the sale has started, and it will run until the 15th of February, 1500 GMT time. They are going to take part in the Steam Lunar New Year sale, which starts on the 11th of February, so another few days away. Most modules offered, will have a 50% discount. There are some exceptions. The modules with a 30% discount include the P-47D, the Channel Map, the Hornet, the Viper, and the A-10C2 tank killer, and also the Supercarrier. The exceptions, unfortunately, include the Tomcat, which has a 15% discount, still not bad. The JF-17 Thunder will be $60, and the new campaigns, of course, are not on sale, as well as DCS Syria, which, of course, is a new map from late last year. The free-to-play event will commence shortly and will give you free access to all we have to offer for the next 10 days. We've put together a trailer showcasing what's in store for 2021, and I'll try to remember to put up that link as well if you want to have a little look at their sale promo trailer. Now, there's a livery competition undergoing for the Thunderbolt, and using the official template, which I will try to remember to throw up the link, or if you want to find it yourself in the newsletter, you can. We are holding a Thunderbolt livery contest, Eagle Dynamics are saying, and only the top 10 submissions will be chosen and included with the module. So if you're looking for some fame and you're good at this and your artistic skills are up there, your name will also be included in the official manual. These are the following requirements. The skin must be created using the official template, of course. The skin can be historically accurate or fictional. However, the skin must be associated with one of the countries currently present in DCS World. So there are some instructions for saving the textures with MIP levels using NVIDIA texture tools for Adobe Photoshop. After submitting the file, then you can enter it into the skin competition forum topic with a screenshot and then link to your file. and that contest will end on the 5th of March, and all 10 winners will receive a free copy of the DCS Mosquito FB Mark 6 when it is ready for release to early access. So pretty good prize actually if you're that way inclined. Okay, we had a lot of campaigns last week. I think it was 6. So we had a bunch of campaigns, a fistful of campaigns, and now we have a few campaigns more. What are they saying here? Well, DCS World continues to offer new opportunities for our third-party campaign makers to produce world-class contents. Yes, indeed. We've had some great stuff recently. So take a look at the joint letter below. It is written by all the campaign makers and gives you a good idea for what they are trying to achieve as a community, and it's great stuff. Here's what they're saying. This is from Grigali Gal, who has said, "Dear Virtual Pilots, this is a joint letter from all the third-party campaign developers to the entire DCS World community. You know, we do not look at each other as competitors. We're more like a virtual team of mission-building enthusiasts. Although we work on our projects separately, we constantly help and support each other. The most essential part of our success is you, the community, and we're forever grateful for the support and enthusiasm." So, amen to that. It's pretty decent stuff we've had. And if you're not aware, there are some more campaigns coming, and I'll go through those now. Pandemic, as it's known. Very, very soon you can expect the release of the KA-50 Pandemic campaign for the Persian Gulf. Another campaign for the Mi-8 helicopter in Syria is also in progress. This is by Armin Murazayan, and I apologize if I have the name incorrect there. We also have the Rise of the Persian Lion. This is an F-18C campaign, and it's going to comprise of 15 story-driven missions, and that's by Badger 633. Gambler's campaign, we are working on the release of the A-10C Iron Flag campaign taking place in Nevada Test and Training Range. We're also working with John Rain Waters, a former F-16 demo pilot and host of the Afterburn podcast, on the F-16C. The Gambler's campaign, recreating his experience during deployment in Syria in 2014, which is really cool. Kevin Miller and Jello Aiello from Fighter Pilot Podcast are preparing the next Raven 1 campaign as well, which is taking place in Syria. Awesome. Can't wait to see that. There will be goodies from the for the Harrier and the Ottoman Courier campaign. So that's from Baltic Dragon. That is absolutely sweet stuff. Also here, Operation Persian Freedom. A-10C Operation Persian Freedom campaign is in the making and will carry on the events of Persian Freedom into the Syrian theater. The campaign, will be for the Hornet, and following 6 months of research and story writing, aims to be incredibly detailed as a scenario, and that is from Ground Pounder Simulations, which is really cool. Rising Squall, we've already kind of seen this, but they produced this Rising Squall, which was their first project and was launched as the bridge between arcade and realism. I know not everyone was hunky-dory with that, but it does fill a void for those people that are more War Thundery kind of players that I don't really want to get into the simulation component of it, but maybe after a period of experience with this that might change their outlook on that. But anyway, they hope that the Rising Squall campaign will help to bring new players from other combat fighter genres, as I've kind of indicated, and experiencing the realistic flying characteristics of the jets while having a cinematic blast. And they are working on a tutorial campaign for DCS FA-18C, a series of detailed training missions that focuses on practicality and replayability. The idea is very similar to Liobe's 1-minute DCS series, and it will be free for those who own Rising Squall. So there's a reason to buy Rising Squall if that's your kind of bent. I'm a little bit dehydrated. I worked out today, and I have a dark ale next to me, which I'm cautiously slurping on. Black ale, of course, very good for removing the free radicals, I'm told. At least that's my excuse for having that right now. Drink responsibly. But I am not used to working out. It's been a long time away due to the pandemic. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the campaign. So that Rising Squall is from Inverted, and then we have the Huey campaign here, and this is from Low Level Heaven, which is a cool name. A second campaign for the UH-1H on the Caucasus map will be released. In 2021, they are also starting work on a campaign for the SA-342 Gazelle. However, completion is planned for the end of 2022 for that. And I want to take the opportunity, he says here, to thank all the helpers from the community. Cool stuff. Okay, Aggressor's red flag. Now, I've heard that being a red flag pilot is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of advantages with it. So they are planning to release the A-10C2 versions of the Basic Flight Training, or BFT, and the Advanced Aircraft Training, or AAT, and Tactical Training Qualifications, or TTQ campaigns. And this is from Maple Flag Missions. They also expect to complete the following: an F-15C Basic Flight Training Qualification, an F-15C Aggressors Air Combat Maneuvering, and an F-5E Aggressors Red Flag and FA-18C Aggressors Air Combat Maneuvering campaigns. So lots of stuff going on there. Operation Pontus, we've kind of seen this already, but the FA-18C Operation Pontus campaign, in cooperation with Baltic Dragon, offers a new story-driven concept. Currently, we are working on an F-16C campaign project, which we plan to finalize soon. The campaign takes place in the Persian Gulf and is supported by extensive research of HAF and NATO operations. Later this year, we plan to finalize the sequel of a UH-1H Argo campaign, which will also take part in Syria. And this is from 373 VFS Phoenix, aka I guess it's Greg and Petриtas. Alright, WOLFPACK. The community response from the F-14A Zone 5 campaign has been very motivating. This is from Reflected Simulations. And a P-47D WOLFPACK campaign is based on real-life combat reports of the 56th Fighter Group. Another F-14 project is nearing completion, over a year's worth of work there. So very exciting there. And if you haven't played the Zone 5 campaign, I've been loving it. I do intend to do a review of that campaign. It's pretty damn cool. So thumbs up there to Reflected Simulations. Very cool guy. And yeah, had some interaction with him. He's done some really neat work, and I really appreciate his angle on things, and also, you know, the ability to work with a lot of these pilots that are willing to come out and help on these campaigns by all the third-party developers here. Campaign developers at least, is really, really cool. Alright, moving on to the Bold CHEETAH campaign. This is by Sedlo. It's a 13-mission campaign for the FA-18C set in the Persian Gulf and featuring the supercarrier. In the midst of a geopolitical scenario, each mission will test your ability to fly and fight in a true-to-life modern battlescape. Very cool. Black Sea Resolve, 1979. This was mentioned last week as well. Now, the Black Sea Resolve 79 is a 25-mission campaign set in 79. UN forces are supporting the newly formed Eastern European countries fighting for independence. It's available to download now. This is from Sorolla, I believe. Alright, Stone Sky, the crew campaign. Part 2 of the new crew campaign, excuse me. A series of campaigns for the Persian Gulf map are now in development for the UH-1H Huey, the Ka-50 Black Shark 2, and the Mi-24P Hind, and the AH-64D Apache modules. The beginning of 2022 is exciting for helicopter enthusiasts in DCS world. As I said, that's from Stone Sky. So, as Eagle Dynamics have said, these very dedicated third-party campaign providers are really throttling up and delivering exceptional content. We're very grateful to them and all the work that they've done, and they wish them great success, big success. And yeah, I guess the way you can support these third-party developers is to buy these campaigns, because for between 10 and 15 bucks, some of the campaigns, phenomenal realism is what we're getting, and well worth delving into. I've enjoyed the Raven 1 campaign, which I'm still working through, and of course Zone 5. I've played some of the other campaigns that have been around for a while, some of the free ones as well that come with or have been developed as part of aircraft releases. But these independent modules that are sort of being thrust into the game, that have reached out to real pilots, and these people have been willing to give up their time and energy and put that into the game to really lend immersive realism, but also the realism in terms of how the campaigns work, and also some of the missions that you're going to be doing that are kind of based on actual things that these people have done, which lends a great deal of authenticity to the sim as a whole, which is a really, really good thing. So thumbs up, well worth it, and I'm excited. So, just to recap, what a great week. I threw out a video there about labels for use in DCS and if people were using them. And as part of that, we also had a little bit of a discussion about VR, and I learned a little bit. A lot of people have, I was a little bit ignorant, I think. A lot of people had sort of touted VR as being really, really good, and I don't want to suggest that it's not, but the range of experiences with VR varies quite widely, and the range of experiences with people's different systems kind of came through in the comments, and also the range of experience based on the user. There was a few people that said, hey, I'm a little bit older, or some people said, yeah, my eyes are not all that good. And so we had a really wide-ranging discussion on the use of labels in the game and whether or not it was beneficial and why people used them, the rationale for it, and what experiences that they were having with labels or not using labels, as the case may be. So that was a really productive video, so I just want to thank everybody for contributing to that discussion and that particular video. I wasn't expecting it to be quite such a eye-opening and enlightening experience for me, because everybody is different. I posted it on a private group that I'm in Facebook, and got similar kind of responses as well, including some feedback from one of the developers for Heat Blur. And it was kind of an opinion piece. It was a little bit of what I thought was perhaps a little bit of frivolousness, but nevertheless, like I said, it was really, really enlightening, and I really appreciate all the comments, and I hope Eagle Dynamics sees those things as well, because there's some very creative and energetic people out there that have all sorts of interesting solutions to problems, and I think that's part of the joy of this community. Every community has their ogres, people that are naturally grumpy and just want to throw stones at other people, but there's also a good deal of discussion, intelligence, and reflective conversation, and useful tips and other things, and I really appreciate that side of things as much as all the other, just the basic thumbs up and things. So again, overall, I really want to thank everybody for the contribution. Now, I have set up a Patreon page. I expect nothing from the community, of course, but I have set it up. If there are people out there that want to contribute to the channel financially, any small amount obviously is going to be helpful for me. I want to continue to produce videos. It's expensive to do this. It takes a lot of time. There's very little remuneration through YouTube and other sources of revenue to continue doing this, but I feel there's a niche for it, and I want to continue doing it, and I want to be as professional as I can. Part of that is being able to continue doing it and justify the amount of time that I'm spending on it without my wife wanting to throttle me. So that's the rationale for that, and again, there's no obligation. It will help, and obviously if it continues to grow in that sense, it will allow me hopefully to provide more comprehensive content, more exclusive content also for members and things like that as well. That's something that I have much further down the track, so don't expect anything fantastic just yet, but if the channel continues to grow in the way it is and there is support for it, that will obviously open up other doors for me as well. So again, I just want to say thanks to all the contributors. Please like, please subscribe, as I always say, keeps the channel chugging along. Alright, I think that'll do. We'll wrap it up. My throat is dry, my mouth is dry. I didn't drink enough water, I was working out hard, and now I'm having a beer, which seems counterintuitive, but I don't want it to get any warmer than it already is. And this is a delicious black ale with a fair kick of alcohol, I might add. It's a stout, Russian stout. So, okay, spasiba. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Prickly Hedgehog out. We'll see you next time.